What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gmias back in the house, and today we're just going to talk quickly about the recap of the ESPYs, which aired what was that, July 16th, 2014, on ESPN, I believe it was on. First off, I'm just going to tell you guys straight up that I think Drake did a really good job as far as him being an actor on Degrassi way back when. He's definitely coming to his own. A lot of the things that he said and that may haven't caught the audience as far as certain jokes that he put out, he was able to recover very, very well. The skits that he did with Blake Griffin and Chris Brown was unbelievable. But listen, the thing that really, I just can't understand what's going on right now. Listen, let's just be clear about something. I understand that it takes a lot of guts and a lot of bravery to come out in such a male-predominant sport as the National Football League, NFL. And I understand what Michael Sam is doing, and I understand the progress. What I don't understand is why this man got more time than a lot of other people that had more relevant things to talk about. And now, listen, this is what I'm saying. It's not the fact that he received the Arthur Ashe Award for courage and coming out and stuff like that. That's on another level, because a lot of people are under the misconception that because of when Arthur Ashe contracted the HIV virus, that he was a homosexual. He wasn't. He received HIV through a blood transfusion for operation. Ms. Gmias was able to get me that information because I also was under the under this premeditated falsity that he contracted it through homosexual activity, because that's what was really, really relevant as the cause of contracting HIV back in the 90s and in the late 80s. Okay, so that being said, I never really looked into it further. It was just more of a thing where it's Arthur Ashe, a great tennis player. I wasn't really into tennis, so I didn't look further into it. It was just, okay, he contracted HIV. He put out the Arthur Ashe Foundation, probably to raise awareness, things like that. That's where I left it. As far as Michael Sam receiving the award, not only did this man go up and hug The Rock Dwayne Johnson with a massive wedgie in his ass cheeks, his speech was just very, very long. And it's sort of like this, like Stuart Scott's speech about his battle with cancer that's been going on for 7 years. That to me is more of a relevant issue that deserves time, because homosexuality right now, it's more of an ignorance in the nation, and him, speaking out on that aspect as far as the NFL, it's still going to be a while because of that sport for people to accept the fact that guys are gay in the locker room, because that's more of an ignorant thing. Cancer, that's a tad bit more important, in my opinion. And as far as him receiving the award without doing anything in the NFL, I'll also give him a pass with that, because like I said, I understand what it's like to be, from having the knowledge of people that I've known to not be able to say or do the things that you want to do just because of who you are. But I also would like to make everybody understand that it's a difference between just being a black African-American Negro and being a black African-American Negro that's gay. Because you have the option of hiding one. You can hide that you're a homosexual in public. You can't hide that you're a black African-American Negro. And just based on the foundation of it and the comparisons to, the tolerance of the African-American community, it's completely different. A lot of it is through ignorance, but there is no similarity as far as the depths, of what happened as far as being a black African-American Negro in the US of A during, the 400 years or however many it was going on. So that being said, that's what I wanted to address, because like I said, I'm very happy that he was able to come out and say what he had to say and kiss his boyfriend and throw cake all over the place. I'm very happy that the freedoms are allowed, for that, allowed that to happen. But the bigger picture is this: people have to accept individuals for who they are. And when you force it on the community, like when he first kissed his boyfriend on ESPN and it was airing like it was a fucking marathon, And no matter where you were, you could be in church, it was on the TV. Like, wherever the fuck you was at a deli, it was on the TV. You went to a fucking, a mosque, it was there. Like, bro, no matter where it was, you couldn't hide it. You couldn't hide. It's like they were putting it on you for you to just like, yo, take this real quick. You're going to take this. You're going to accept it. And that's not, I don't think, a successful way to make people understand the premise of what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is increase tolerance. So to increase tolerance, you have to increase education. But this man, the way that he went about doing it, I understand that you want to be a free-flowing individual. It's sort of like if you go back to Emmett Till when he allegedly whistled at a white woman and was beaten heinously. Now, you can whistle at white women. Every fucking successful African-American Negro has a Caucasian wife, right? So that, even though that's still shunned, it's tolerated. But who was it? Was it Jim Brown that was the first person to like kiss a Caucasian woman? Or was it Sidney Poitier? I don't remember. One of those people did it. But it had to come after the progression and certain tolerance was being shown. Like there was movements going on, things like that. And that's what, that's what the Rainbow Coalition and these people are doing. But you can't use a predominantly male sport to change the culture. Because a lot of people, even though the NFL is the number one, sport in the world, in the USA, a lot of people still don't watch it. So this man, let's not jump on the fact, like I have friends that play, football in the National Football League that have played, that play in arena football leagues and shit like that. All they complain about to me is the fact that the way his body is. Like if you're going to be a linebacker in the National Football League, you have to look the part. Like if you were Jack Diesel, you know what I'm saying? If you were Jack Diesel and a homosexual, I got no issue with you. You know what I'm saying? If you were looking the part. But it doesn't seem to me, based on the way this man is carrying himself, that he's putting what's needed to be the best. As of right now. As of right now, I don't think he's putting his best foot forward. And then you have a massive wedgie when you fucking hug The Rock. Dwayne Johnson. But listen, I just had to really touch on that part because people like to jump out. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of homophobes and there are a lot of people that still hate anything that's not Caucasian. That's your choice. You can do whatever you want. That's not the issue. The issue is how it's thrown on you. Because I remember, not too long ago when it was like, people had in the South where they probably still have these meetings in the South where it's like, they're trying to throw the African-American agenda on us and they're still niggers and shit like that. I understand all that. But overall, we begin to understand that just because people are who they, people are born, and like they say, based on scientific, evidence that they've been showing that you're born a homosexual, whichever way or however you believe it, you can't hide the color of your skin. That's my point. So it's the comparisons, like reading about it this morning and stuff like that. They're comparing it to the civil rights movement. I think that's a little bit too far. Homosexuality and the civil rights movement, I think that's a little bit too far based on what went on during those times. You know what I'm saying? That's like comparing it to like the Holocaust. Like these things are very, very, these were very, very ridiculous and such heinous fucking crimes. To try to create a genocide of a people. You can't use those things in the same comparison of what somebody chooses to be. Or not choose to be, or born that way, or however it is. Because even if you have to hide it, you have an option. You couldn't hide the fact that you were Jewish. You couldn't hide the fact, at these times, when Hitler was going apeshit. In this country, when everybody was a slave, you couldn't hide the fact of what you were and who you were. But that's just where I draw the line. And like I said, I don't have any problems with homosexuals. It doesn't matter to me what you want to do. I'm not in the bedroom when you're banging your boyfriend out or you're eating your girlfriend out. I don't care about that. I care about the individual. And those type of things, it takes time for people to understand that. But that's a different type of tolerance than when you're actually putting people in camps and you're putting shackles and chains on them and shipping them all over the goddamn place. It's different. So that's why I had a little bit of outrage, because I know every time that Michael Sam shows his face, they compare it to something that it's not supposed to be comparable to. It's just ignorance. And I understand, and people are going to say it's a homosexual agenda. I have no agenda. I just feel that you got to judge an individual as an individual. If a dude is going to look out for me and he's a homosexual, that's my dude. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather have a dude that's going to look out for me that's genuine, that's a homosexual, than a heterosexual that's going to fuck my wife as soon as I walk out the door and he's supposed to be my homeboy. But that's another podcast. But I just wanted to touch on that before I get into the whole situation of the ESPYs. Other than that, Drake and that song Side Pieces, where he made a song dedicated to side pieces, was a very uncomfortable song. He brought out Brian McKnight, who looked kind of jacked like he's on steroids. Overall, the ESPYs was a success. I know Lil Wayne is like, yeah, motherfuckers, I signed him. Because I still can't believe that those two worked together. But it is the way it is. People don't understand. It doesn't matter about the way something is portrayed. It matters about what that individual has and what he's willing to show. And that whatever unity that they have together, it works. You got to definitely shout out Young Money and Lil Wayne on making, as much as this man drinks scissor, and he's probably going to die at a young age because the man is always high. And, he has, I don't know how the fuck he doesn't have some type of disease yet with all the tattoos that that he's had. But you got to give him respect, because Drake is definitely worth everything that he put into him. And he's going to show that he is for years to come, because that's a big step for him to be able to do that. And I love to see positive progression. And Drake did choose to be mostly Jewish. He used his Jewish side yesterday during the ESPYs, which I appreciated. He saves the nigger for last for his rap songs. And that's fine, because he has to be able to embrace both sides of what he is. And that was fine. I just wanted to see what he was going to be. And he was definitely Jewish last night for the ESPYs. Other than that, Stuart Scott's speech definitely touched me. It brought me back to the Jimmy Valvano days with the, never giving up. And to just know that, touching back on cancer and what it does to the people, to the world. It's unbelievable, man, that these people show the type of strength when still we live in a day and age where it's predominantly you're giving chemicals that kill you to cure you. And in 2014, that shouldn't be the case. And it doesn't matter, as we've seen with Steve Jobs and so many others that we've lost. Money's not an issue. Money's not the issue when it comes to this heinous and ridiculous and aggressive disease. It's either you or the disease. And where we are right now, and there's certain people that have so many different types of ways to cure it, it's just unbelievable that in 2014, it's still taking people's lives with all these things that are accessible to us and everything else like that. And I have another podcast I'm going to be doing soon, even for like my vegetarian friends, with the shit that's inside their products and things that they eat. Either way, they're going to get you. Either way, they're going to get you. It's just as simple as that. They're going to put something in there. A lot of times have changed. The world has gotten bigger. A lot of things for mass production. Monsanto. It's a whole bunch of baby back bullshit. But Stuart Scott's speech was very, very, it was very, very inspirational. And it takes a lot of strength to be able to do that. And the biggest thing, as an African-American Negro, him saying that the best thing he could have done is be a father, should wake up a lot of these black African-American Negroes that don't even know their kids' names after, it's ridiculous. You don't even know your kid's name. It's one thing to bang, but if you bang and something comes out of that vajayjay, even if you don't want to be with the woman, listen, fuck the woman. It doesn't matter. If you don't want to be with her, the woman is not your goddamn kid. You got to do something for your kids, man. You got to do something for your kids. And that's pretty much what I took from that. And, overall with his speech, at some point in your life, you start to understand that it's not about you anymore. It's about what you brought into the world. And we have to change our mindsets with that. We can't continue to, Ray Ray had a baby and Ray Ray had another baby from a different baby mama and all kinds of crazy shit. And then people wonder why the stereotype is still so predominant. Even though we're not the only ones. I have Caucasian friends that don't give a fuck about their kids too. But it's not widespread. It's not what the media shows, so it's different. But when you on a rap video, you're talking about baby mamas and you got a baby mama here and you promote the baby mama, the community is going to want to be baby mamas. As funny as that side chick song was, you're going to have people that want to be side chicks. Why not be able to spend somebody's money to keep quiet and suck them off dry when they come to your city? It's just the way the world's going. And, you know, I don't know what the fuck else to expect. Other than that, you know, people that won the award, Kevin Durant got the award of Athlete of the Year. I guess he deserves it. I can't say like wholeheartedly that I thought that it would be him. It is what it is. He was nominated. He still doesn't impress me. He doesn't have any of that killer instinct yet. Maybe it's to come. Westbrook receiving Comeback Player of the Year. That was definitely well warranted. The Seattle Seahawks got a lot of awards. Richard Sherman got an award. Everything else was fine. But I just wanted to touch on those two basic points. Stuart Scott and Michael Sam. If you guys have any comments or questions, if you watch this on YouTube or if you download it on iTunes, you could definitely hit me up, you know, at GmiasWorld on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram and definitely check out my website and pick up a GmiasWorld t-shirt. They're selling pretty well, and that's all because of you guys in every country and of course, the USA. That shows me so much love. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what I had to say today. If you didn't, you know in the GmiasWorld fashion, you can always go fuck yourself with a horse dildo. Until next time, it's always one love. One love. One love.